What's up, Ozarks? It's Chris Pinson here inside your Ozarks First Digital Desk Studio. And let's talk about the viral image going around Twitter right now involving what could be or might not be the future of Missouri State Football Stadium. I'm talking about an image that has gotten 67,000 plus impressions across Twitter and has a lot of people talking about how cool it would be, how truly down to earth and true to the roots of this area, this stadium would be if it ever came to life. But I might be the bearer of bad news, pardon the bear pun, and let you know this one might not be happening unless something crazy actually takes place, like a giant check of impressive magnitude. So here's what I'm talking about. Look at this. Do you see this? Do you see this incredible sight? Yeah, what you're looking at could be right the future plans way down the road of what could be a collaboration of a stadium that would house MSU football, but it's headlined by none other than Bass Pro. Because in case you didn't know it, Johnny Morris, the founder, the head man, the brain trust, everything behind that brand, well, he's a Springfield guy. He went to Drury just across the street from MSU. So clearly he's got tied roots to this area. However, as cool as this stadium design is, as impressive as this image is, as impressive as the traction it's getting online, this might be a little unrealistic for the Bears to get without Johnny Morris's help of any kind. Because there's really only one thing, one major thing that ties Johnny Morris right now to Missouri State. And that would be the fact that Missouri State hosts what? The Bass Pro Tournament of Champions, the premier high school basketball boys tournament in the nation. They host it and house it at Great Southern Bank Arena, where the men's and women's basketball team plays. Outside that, Johnny Morris does not have a relationship really at all with Missouri State. I know this for a fact. For some reason, the man that's worth, I believe, $9 billion, who's got his headquarters of Bass Pro right there on Campbell Avenue, really a stone's throw away from the campus. That guy's worth $9 billion, and really there's never been much of a relationship between Missouri State and him. Again, you could point to the fact that he's not a MSU guy. He's not a graduate. He went to Drury. He could be more of a Panther. But no offense, if you look at their facilities, if you look at that great basketball arena that the Panthers have, they play at, that's the O'Reilly Family Center, as in the car brand, O'Reilly, as in the brand that helps you keep your car going with all different parts and whatever you need, right? O'Reilly, that's their money. That's not Bass Pro money. So to see this online, it is really cool. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. How much of a mirror image that looks of the headquarters right there on Campbell Avenue, of how much this is a almost mirror image of the actual giant structure that houses the wonders of wildlife, you know, the best aquarium and zoo in the country for what, 5 of the last 6 years running? It's awesome. But a stadium of that magnitude, oh, you are talking so much money. I think a calculator is going to give you an E pretty quickly when you start adding all the zeros in there and multiplying times even more zeros, okay? Okay, but this image came across from a guy named Billy Jansen, or JNZN, okay, who goes by Hellbender STL. And it says here, introducing Johnny Morris Outdoor World Stadium at Bass Pro Shops Field. So, right, introducing Johnny Morris Outdoor World Stadium at Bass Pro Shops Field. This conservation-themed football cathedral is built by the Ozarks for the Ozarks, and it is rooted in bear country. Let's take a look. Okay, that's what this says. That is what this says. Again, very cool. If you scroll down here, check this out. Here's a look at this. Could you imagine watching a football game in a private luxury suite like this? I mean, look, if you've been down by Branson, anywhere in that area, and you've gone to his incredible, outstanding properties. I mean, you talk about villas. You talk about an experience to get away from everything, to play on some of the best golf courses there are in the state of Missouri. I mean, how could you not want to stay in something like this? This very much is just like the Big Cedar Lodge area that he's got down there in Branson that houses the Tiger Woods Paynes Valley course, Buffalo Ridge, Ozarks National. I mean, top tier, premium, beautiful golf courses. Okay. And you can stay in these kind of villas. Heck, the clubhouse for Paynes Valley looks just like this. Could you imagine staying in a place like this and watching a football game? Boy, you could bring anybody there and they would go, wow, this is incredible. Okay. Here's another image. There you go. Johnny Morris Outdoor World Stadium at Bass Pro Shops Field, Missouri State University. I mean, again, this is incredible, right? This would be the best stadium ever built in the country by far. By far. But again, this is a futuristic representation of what could be way down the road. Because again, Johnny Morris really has no tie to Missouri State in a strong relationship. A man that's worth $9 billion doesn't have a lot invested hardly at all at Drury, if anything. Doesn't have hardly anything invested here at Missouri State, which is a major crime. Especially for a guy like that, who I've heard countless stories about how meticulous and precise he is when it comes to building things and putting his name on something. So much so, in fact, that when he's building something, people that are on the job sites will try to keep stuff covered up and not let him see it. Because he literally will walk by, see an entirely finished structure or design or whatever it is, and find fault with it and go, don't like that. Tear it down, rip it up, start all over. That's the truth. And that's what this guy does. Again, he's worth $9 billion. So something that costs 10 to 50 million, 100 million, he's never going to miss it. But he wants it done his way or the highway. And when you're the man that has the money, when you're the man that controls everything, you do what the man with the money says. I mean, that's a rule as old as time, right? No offense. If you're like me and you grew up watching Aladdin in the 90s, what does Jafar say when he plays that old man, right, that gets Aladdin to go out into the desert to find the Cave of Wonders? Those with the gold make the golden rules. Johnny Morris is the man with all the gold in this town. $9 billion worth, okay? So believe me when I tell you, this would be incredibly cool. But right now, there's not much relationship between Missouri State and Johnny Morris to get this, even in remote discussions. But it's cool to dream, right? It's very cool to look at this and go, man, could you imagine? Right? Because right now we got Placer Stadium. And the stadium's 30 plus years old. It's already going massive upgrades, to get all the fiber optics in there for the CBS trucks and other national networks that come in and broadcast these games. I mean, there's all kind of upgrades going on to Placer Stadium. But something like this, you are talking an insane timeline, an insane budget. I mean, this would be the greatest stadium ever built in America, maybe the world, and it wouldn't even be close. The only thing that could come close to this is something built in Abu Dhabi, because it's Abu freaking Dhabi, okay? But again, this kind of thing is fun to dream about, but it is far and away from ever being a real materializing thing. Because right now, Missouri State and Johnny Morris, this far apart, you feel me? Outside the frame, okay? But again, it's fun to dream. But this is the kind of thing that gets that momentum going, right? You could walk into Johnny Morris if you're Missouri State, if you're Patrick Ransdell and the brass there at MSU and say, hey, love to talk to you about a relationship. Okay, I keep going back to what Patrick Ransdell said at his public forum when he was interviewing for this job, because somebody at the public forum inside the Bears overtime suite at Great Southern Bank Arena where they held it, they said, hey, you'd be the new guy on the block here, and we really don't have much of a relationship with Johnny Morris and Bass Pro. How do we get that? How do we get him to start funding stuff here? And Patrick Ransdell wildly looked at him and go, well, it's definitely not by starting the conversation by going, hey, Johnny, I'm Patrick Ransdell, athletic director for Missouri State. what can we do to get a check out for your hands? I'm paraphrasing, but right, that's a smart answer. In the world of business, it is about relationships. It is about getting your trust as the person with the money. No offense, it's like going out to a bar and getting the number of a person you see that you like and trying to get eventually an escalation, right? Man, that girl, she's hot. Man, I'd love to talk to her. Man, I'd love to get her number, see where things could go. It's the exact same premise. You have to show up. You have to impress them. First meeting, first impression is so important because with these people, you don't get second impressions. Those don't happen. So you go through the channels and you work through the channels. And that takes time. And eventually, if you work things correctly, if you get their interest, if you show them that you're authentic and you're genuine and you're not just some money-grubbing tool, that you two can get them to come to the table and then show, hey, here's the homework we've done. Here's what we want to talk about. Here's how you and your brand can be enhanced by enhancing our brand. Those are the kind of conversations it takes to get something like that way in the future on the back burner, but still possibly on the table way down the line. But first, just to get Johnny Morris to buy into something, it's going to take a heck of a lot of conversation and a heck of a lot of time. Because that man, again, he's so meticulous. He's so forward-thinking that you have to be able to show him a vision. You don't become a multi-billionaire without having a lot of forethought, without planning accordingly, without dreaming of something and having an understanding of the means to make it happen. So as cool as this stuff is, as amazing as these visuals are to all of us, this something isn't even close to ever happening. Because at first, Patrick Ransdale and the administration of Missouri State has to be able to get to the table, talk with Johnny Morris, and get him to buy into the vision of enhancing his brand through Missouri State. That is the key. And that's exactly what it's going to take to get these people to buy in and create an even greater vision than what Missouri State might even be thinking of. Because remember, once you finally get somebody like this into your inner circle and they get you in yours, the floodgates can open up tremendously with other people coming in and with other people saying, hey, we see what you're doing there. We want to be a part of that too. I mean, he's the biggest fish in town, right? No pun intended, because he's the outdoor enthusiast, Johnny Morris, Bass Pro. But this is the whopper. This is the lunker. This is the legendary river monster that you're trying to lure in, that you're trying to get to buy in, to be a part of your brand and help enhance each other. That's what a relationship does. So believe me, this kind of stuff, too futuristic, too unrealistic. But Johnny Morris coming in and being able to help build his brand around Missouri State, those conversations can happen. Those conversations are trying to happen. But again, it will take a lot of time because time builds trust. Not fancy words, not fancy speeches, but time and effort. That is what can build this right here. So as cool as it is, first you got to get him to the table. And then don't miss your shot because you don't get a second chance with guys like this. So keep it right here for more Bear Nation updates and a whole lot more across the sports spectrum. Because believe me, this is a transitional, transcendental time for Missouri State athletics. And we are here at Ozarks First, happy to be a part of it. So we'll see you next time, but keep it right here for a whole lot more updates.